Hey there, I'm Lisa Doyle with Sereno Real Estate, Christie's International here in our amazing, beautiful Northern California East Bay. Welcome to the market update. So as you guys know, we're watching the market super closely. I get calls daily, just people that are trying to navigate where's the current market, where are we headed? We've had a lot of roller coaster these last few years. So I want to keep you guys up to speed on what you might expect. So I'm going to give you a little bit of my predictions for the second half of the year. And then I'm going to give you some data on where we are today. And I always love to shoot my market updates from some of our beautiful neighborhoods. So I'm here in East Hampton in San Ramon, sitting on the beautiful bench of this little neighborhood park. So here we are, again, like I said, we're in the end of June. I want to give you guys a little bit of a recap on where we were, say, March, April, and then where we are today, and then what I predict what we'll see in the next coming 6 months. So if you guys remember, one of the things that we love to track is the supply and demand. I mean, that's like economics 101. The market gets more heated as inventory is lower and, homes that are sold are higher. Right now, we're in a bit of a balance. We are not that heated crazy that we had. A few months ago, there was only 600 active listings in all of the East Bay. Last month, I'm going to give you guys a recap of where we were last month, and then we've seen a little bit of an increase in inventory. So last month in our entire East Bay, which you guys remember, the East Bay goes Livermore, down the 580, the 680, all the way to the 24, all the way to Clayton. It's a pretty big area, right? Last month, we had 1,138 active homes in that whole area, and 698 pending. Today, here we are, end of June, there are 1,228 active, 673 pending. So we're pretty much remaining stable. A little bit of an increase in inventory, a little bit fewer pending, but the market is stable. And I want to share with you guys, sometimes the data doesn't really display the heat of the current market. So I want to give you guys a little bit of sense of what we're seeing. In January of this year, when the Fed announced the intention of dropping interest rates 3 times this year, it was almost like the market was flooded with potential buyers. Everyone was feeling a lot more optimistic. They thought, oh my gosh, 3 reductions in interest rates, that means we're heading on the right trajectory. But the Fed has basically kind of reneged on that commitment, and we've not dropped at all this year. And it sounds like their intent may be 1 reduction. And I'm going to give you guys a prediction on when that might be. So a little bit of the heat has kind of come out of the sales of some of the buyers. So a seller will look at the data and say, market's pretty healthy, which it is, it's stable. We're just a little bit softer than we were in March. I think the confidence of the consumer that the rates will actually fall, they're starting to question that a little bit. So I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to show you a few slides that'll just give you a little bit of sense of what we're projecting for the second half of the year. And my prediction is rates will come down. I think we'll drop once. I'm going to show you guys this slide. You look at the majority of the major economists, and they're all kind of predicting the market will interest rates will likely drop in September. If you look at this slide, it gives you that overview. Again, no crystal ball. None of us has an exact answer, but I think that that's probably correct. I'm actually optimistic to think maybe August. I think the Fed is supposed to meet again in August, but they're predicting September. And if you guys look at my next slide, you can kind of see where the rates have come from. Back in 2019, prior to COVID, we were hovering around 5%. Then we had that significant dip during that COVID time, which was unprecedented. I've been in real estate for 38 years, never seen anything like it. Unbelievable. 2.4% interest rates is probably never in our lifetimes. That would be my guess. But we're projected to come back to where we were in that 2019 time. But if you look at this slide, it'll show, obviously, the market interest rates fell. We went way up to almost 8%, and now we're hovering in that upper 6s. So kind of hovering in what you might deem to be a historic normal rate. But my prediction will be coming down to that 5s sometime next year. We were hoping this year, but we'll see. And then I'll show you guys one more slide here too. Actually, a couple more of them. So it says here, if you read this slide, and this is from one of the major economists in the country, very well-known, very respected economist. It says projected inventory increases are attributed to the improvement of mortgage rates, of course, which will motivate some of the current homeowners to move up the ladder of housing, moving on to a bigger home, or, shifts of our older Americans looking to downsize. A lot of people are kind of frozen because they feel like rates are too high. So they're kind of waiting, which is why inventory has been low. That low inventory has allowed the pressure on values to stay current. And I believe that we'll see that moving forward. I do have a good friend in real estate who predicts massive inventory and falling prices in our Northern California. But I disagree. So we'll see. He and I are in a little bit of a debate about that. And then the last slide I want to read for you, it says here, when it comes to real estate forecasts for the next 5 years, he's cautiously optimistic. He believes we're going to see a lot of ebb and flow, which I agree with that. Some highs and lows. We kind of see a little bit of a roller coaster, but overall a healthy market. Prices should continue to rise, although more slowly, and buyers might enjoy the options of a little bit of an expanded inventory, as the real estate or as the interest rates fall. But, remember, real estate is profoundly local. What happens in our market, of course, I'm going to keep you guys in tune with that. We are pretty much following the national trends right now in our East Bay. So if you guys have questions, let me know. I'm Lisa Doyle. Looking so forward to seeing you, and I'll be keeping you in the loop for the second half of the year. Take care. See you soon.